Ladies and gentlemen, we have a red hot topic that we're going to be breaking down in today's video. My DMs have been absolutely flooded over the past few days regarding super bots. Now, if you've been playing PUBG Mobile more than a few days, you can quickly identify whether you're engaging a real player or if you're engaging AI. It's very, very easy to tell. Up until about, I want to say maybe 9 months ago is when people started noticing something odd with some of the players that they were going up against. And that's where everybody coined the phrase super bots, because bots often are kind of, they're kind of weekend at Bernie's, they're just kind of, it's very easy to tell. I mean, the way they move, the way they shoot, it's hardly ever do they go, completely full auto. They don't smoke, they're not reviving. They just look, like a bunch of fools. You just know. You just know. Your game sense knows, right? And about 9 months ago is when they introduced the super bots. So again, the movement was still not perfect, but you could still tell we got something going on here, right? But the super bots started driving cars. They started throwing smokes. They started drop shotting. They would lean peek. They would jump like this gentleman just did right here. But you'll notice very, very odd movement that we're going to see in a couple different engagements here. So this one right here, the dude's just kind of running straight across the screen. Not even running, he's just kind of jogging. And then instantly stops, pivots, and then, goes to fire. And then he kind of lean peeks out in the open. Players you engage are not going to do that. The annoying thing about the super bots, though, is, again, they're still kind of weekend at Bernie's, right? Just kind of, But the difference is they will laser you. They go from weekend at Bernie's to Shroud in a matter of seconds. And we're going to get in. I kind of want to say this because it's a very, very important topic, one that, Fates brought up, that we did a video on a couple weeks ago, which is, whether or not the community is very divided on whether bots should be in the game or if they shouldn't. And I have a very, very strong argument of why they should be in the game. The tricky thing, though, is the way like this. So here's another example. Here's another quick example. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but it is what it is. Get over it. Where these guys, they're running full speed ahead. They're beelining it. And then you're going to see it in a couple different examples. And another thing is, all their names have, I believe, is Chinese. But in this case, all these super bots have these Chinese names. That's another thing to look out for when you get into these lobbies. When you're going up against AI in a game like PUBG Mobile, or any battle royale for that matter, the most dopamine and exhilarating and high octane experience that you're going to feel, and what makes us keep coming back to these style games, is real engagements, knowing that you're going up head to head against a real player in a battle to see who wins. And when you remove the human element in these matches, in this battle royale experience, not only it being a survival game first and foremost, and then secondary, some would say, is the shooter aspect of PUBG Mobile. See, there's another one. You don't want to know that you're going up against nothing but AI. This isn't an AFK game. This isn't an offline game. PUBG Mobile is 100% online. You're playing obviously with real people on your team, but knowing that the real engagements, the real engagements are going to be against real players. You're going to see at the very end. This is where you guys, as I always know, you guys are smarter than me. In the comment section, we're going to watch the last engagement, and what I want you to do is decide whether this was a real team or if this was a team of super bots. There are a couple real players, as we're going to see a little bit later into the match, like that guy right there, this dead shot. See, he just took out, you know, this person. I'm curious, what does anybody know Chinese? Like, what is this? Is this a name? Like, what? Because they're obviously different symbols. But I'm curious, like what names are these? Like, look at this one. Here's another example. You see a lot of this. Look, you'll see, like, look at two different flags right here. Two different flags. But notice it's those Chinese symbols. You'll also see one a little bit later on where it's an American flag that has the exact same type of... Look, here's one. What is this? And, you know, I don't want anybody to get offended. I believe this is Iraq, right? So just in this kill feed right here, back to back to back to back, you have all the Chinese Chinese names with different flags. I mean, this isn't... That's a red flag, you know, is what that is. So... Again, these are certain things you can look out for. See, that was one real player right there, this Deadshot. He's been killing the super bots throughout the whole game in the kill feed. So when it comes to bots, all right, this is my stance on bots. I might do a deep dive, you know, later on in another video. But the biggest issue with the game at the moment, more than hackers, more than any type of, you know, server issues, you know, ping spikes and things like that, the biggest issue in this game, okay, bar none, is matchmake wait time. All right, we've talked about it a lot on the channel. Matchmake wait time is absolutely atrocious. There's no way to really even define it. It is really bad. I mean, it's so bad to where you literally, on most servers, you can't just queue up and just play any map that you want. You just simply can't do it. There aren't enough real players. You'll get timed out after 20 minutes and it'll say, sorry, you know, there's no matches. And that really, really sucks because there's a lot of beautiful maps. The difference is, though, is now they have regular bots in the matches, right? The Weekend at Bernie type bots. But now they've added the super bots, which... Their movement is ridiculous. The biggest thing is that they're killing you. They're killing you very, very fast, to the point to where you're almost scratching your head like, is this a real player or not? And in a battle royale game, it shouldn't be like that. You should know if the person you're going up against is real or not. And that really sucks if they're going to turn this into kind of like an offline game. If all these lobbies are going to be filled with, you know, these quote unquote super bots. And I think the bots are very necessary, solely based on the fact of matchmake wait time. Do we want a lobby, you know, with 100 real players in it? Of course we do. But not a lot of people are going to want to sit around and wait 20 or 30 minutes to get a match, because that's what it'll take. And not only that, I'm sorry, you will do more harm than good if you are matching like Conquer tier players with gold players. So not only do they have to match people who are calling for only real players in matches, not only do you have to match to get 100 players in a match, you know, in a relatively fast time, but then you also have to match players within a similar tier, you know, a similar skill level. If not, you're going to have all the people at the top shitting on everybody down at the bottom. And then what ends up happening? The lobbies become too easy for the high tier players, becomes too hard for the low tier players. And before you know it, nobody's playing PUBG Mobile. And, you know, it's a very fine line that they're walking here. And I totally get it. I'm truly trying to see it, you know, from both sides. You know what I mean? From the player base side and then from the developer side. So I would really hate to see it become like worse than it are, you know, than ours is. All right, this is the engagement right here, by the way. I want you guys to sound off on what you think if this engagement is real. Because again, not all the super bots have the Chinese names. The majority of them do, but not all. So let's take a look at this engagement. We got Smokes, right? She knocked one. All right, so here comes the push. And again, are they just bad players? Are they super bots? And that's, I mean, there's just so many question marks, and it really shouldn't be that way. See, the reason why I thought this might have been super bots here at the end is this guy, because we see this a lot in the movement where they will just run right towards you and just not shoot. A lot of real players aren't going to behave that way. They're not going to run in a completely straight line. You're going to see some pivoting. You might see, some crouching. You're going to see, some jiggle movement. But this guy goes beeline straight towards Dream and then fires at the very, very, very last second before he gets knocked. Take a look. So right here. So that was the only reason. Again, this is it's hard to determine, but it really looks that way with him. But then you have the last guy right here, beams, and I think was that for what place was that? Was that for second place? Okay, that was for third place. So, I mean, what do you guys what do you guys think here? Yeah, here's another engagement. Look at this super right here. That I want to show you guys. Look, just got lit up. Completely lit. And not even being a real player. So have you guys ran into this? I don't know why all of a sudden. I mean, when the season first started, I wasn't hearing about anybody getting these lobbies. It wasn't until like literally the last 3 days I kept getting hit up. And I said, you know what, this will be a great opportunity to drop a video on this while the topic's hot and kind of get some insight and what you guys think. Sound off below.